So now, good day students, and welcome to the homework following the nugget on biomass from society. In the theory session, it was pointed out that the dominant waste fraction on the whole is often mineral waste, but that is on the large scale. So let us now look at densely populated areas instead. Such areas are called cities. And they are not only consumption sites, but they generate quite a lot of useful biomass for energy from waste. You probably already know that, but once you've done this nugget, you should be well aware of the fact that waste is really not to be wasted. And you should be aware that putting your waste in the correct bin at the recycling station is a very important thing. And you should know why. And you should have a first idea into the complexity involved in the waste management. Now, from the theory session, you will recall that the fractions suitable for energy were basically a wet organic fraction of biologically degradable material that we called organic, a dry fraction of material that was not so easily degradable, and we called that combustible, and then the fats and oils that can be stabilized and used for a diesel substitute. To give you a first insight as to what these resources really are, you shall first have a look at some statistics. The United Nations and its sub-organizations, FAO, the World Bank, UNEP, and all the other ones, are wonderful sources for international statistical data. Most data are collected from national statistical offices, but some may also be collected from other independent bodies. So the fact that you, or we in this case, collect data from a body within the United Nations is no guarantee that the data are correct. But it is a guarantee that the data have been collected by experts working for a neutral international organization, and that they have been carefully selected from the best possible sources. So, generally speaking, data gathered from the United Nations and its sub-organizations can be regarded as some of the most reliable data you can find. As you can see from this slide, the World Bank Open Database contains lots and lots and lots of useful information. Economical data, of course. After all, it is the World Bank. Gender data, wind speed data, just to mention one that is interesting for the energy engineer. To put it short, this is a gold mine when you are looking for data. But in this case, we know exactly what we are looking for. Or, to be more precise, I know exactly what we are looking for. So, go for the water waste database. Download the report, and then download the city data file. You will see that this file is in CSV format, so it is a comma-separated values file. To open such a file in Excel, you have to import the data from a text file and specify that the value separator is a comma. And then it opens nicely, and you can save it in Excel format for future use. Now, browsing the file, you will see that column U has the title Composition, and so do all the columns through to AC. So there are 9 fractions of waste defined in the file, all given in weight %. In column BE, you will find the total amount of municipal solid waste in tons. And in column AT, you will find the total population in the city. References, that is years for the population and the tonnage and everything else, will be found in the file called Codes in the World Bank database, the same place where we found the data. There is much more information in this Excel sheet. Column AU tells you which techniques is used for the primary collection. Columns AV through BB tells you about separation. CU tells about energy production. And CX through DH gives information about treatment methods. But Let's go back to basics. Use the data in this file to compute how many kilos of organic waste the individual throws away per year. All the information you need is there. If the number exceeds 365 kilos per year, then the amount is more than 1 kilo per person and day. In how many cities in the file do the inhabitants throw away more than 1 kilo organic material on a daily basis? Is your city one of them? How is the organic waste handled in your own hometown? Now you have to remember that solid waste does not only come from households. So to calculate the amounts per person the way we have just done is not all just. Which other sources in an urban area can you imagine to produce organic solid waste? Which fractions do you think qualify as combustibles? Then do the same calculations using data for countries. And then ask yourself, how much organic solid waste do you generate? And try to find out how that waste is used. And how much combustible waste do you produce? If you did not already know it, you will now realize that waste and waste handling is a very complex thing. To have a general idea about how the collection and handling of waste may be organized, you should read chapters 1, 4, 2, 4 and 3, 4 thoroughly. And then you shall look closely at how waste handling is organized in London, in New York and in Tokyo. You will see on this slide that there are 2 links for each city. The first link for each city will take you to a home page where the overall system to handle solid waste is described. You may have to browse the sites a little to gather information and to get an overview, but then do that. The second link for each city will take you to the pages where the wastewater treatment systems are outlined. As you will see, do the wastewater treatment plants include anaerobic digestion plants for biogas production? So how do you think these digestion plants cooperate with the collection of organic waste? How does that work in your own hometown? Try to find corresponding data for your own home region, and do not forget to exercise a critical mind to any data you find. Finally, if you did not download the report Water Waste 2.0 from the database previously, then do it now. The report is almost 300 pages, but what I want you to do is first to read chapter 2, which is only about 20 pages. This chapter will outline some of the global differences as it comes to waste amounts and waste composition. If you did not already know, then you will come to understand how income and economy co-variates with waste. And then I want you to scan through chapter 6 to have an idea about what is happening and how modern technology may influence and may affect the waste handling systems.